The strange visitor at midnight. The clock showed 2:03 a.m. Aiden sat on his bed, eyes half open, holding his tablet. He couldn't sleep. His father was away again. Business trip, they always said. But Aiden knew better. His dad's trips were never normal. No emails, no video calls, just silence. As Aiden closed his eyes, a soft hum sound filled the room. A light blue glow spread across the walls. His body froze. Then, thump. Something dropped in the corner of his room. Aiden jumped, off the bed, heart racing. He grabbed the baseball bat from under his mattress. Slowly, he stepped closer to the glow. There, lying on the floor, was a girl. But not just any girl. She had glowing silver skin, long flowing purple hair, and markings on her arms that shimmered like stars. Her clothes were torn. Her breathing was fast. She looked frightened and weak. Aiden blinked. "What are you?" The girl looked up with glowing green eyes. "I'm not here to hurt you," she whispered. I'm Zara. Your father knew me. Please, don't send me away." Aiden stared in shock. "You know my dad?" She nodded. "He made a promise to protect me." Suddenly, a loud crackling noise came from outside the window. It was deep, metallic, like claws on glass. Zara's eyes widened. "They found me," she said, her voice trembling. "Who?" Aiden asked. She didn't answer. Instead, she crawled to the wall and pressed a glowing stone against it. A circle of blue light appeared. She touched it, and the wall shimmered for a moment like it was melting. Aiden stepped back. This couldn't be real. Was he dreaming? "Please," Zara said. "I didn't know where else to go. Your father said Earth would be safe." Aiden lowered his bat. He could see her pain. Her face was bruised, her arms scratched. She was barely holding herself together. Before he could say anything more, the house lights flickered and then went out. Complete darkness. Outside, strange shadows moved past the windows. "Are they aliens?" Aiden asked, voice shaking. Zara stood up slowly. "Not aliens, machines, hunters. They don't speak, they don't stop. If they find me, they'll erase me." Aiden swallowed hard. "Why you?" "I carry something they want. Something my people died to protect." Then the window cracked. A black metal claw poked through. Aiden grabbed Zara's arm. "We can't stay here." They ran down the stairs together. The living room was cold, and the shadows outside grew darker. Suddenly, Zara stopped. "Wait, the promise. There should be something. He told me, your father, he said he left something here for me." Aiden remembered the dusty box in the hallway closet. His dad had warned him never to open it. Without thinking, Aiden ran to the closet, pulled out the box, and tossed it on the floor. Inside were old papers, a strange metal bracelet, and a small glowing cube. Zara's eyes lit up. She grabbed the cube and held it to her chest. It sank into her skin and vanished. The markings on her arms glowed brighter. Now she looked stronger. "Not broken, but ready. Let's go," she said, her voice steady now. The window smashed open fully. A machine with long limbs and glowing red eyes entered. It looked like a spider made of steel. Zara grabbed the metal bracelet and threw it at the floor. It opened into a swirling portal. "Jump!" she yelled. Aiden hesitated. "Now!" They leapt into the light just as the machine lunged at them. They landed in a dark alley behind the neighborhood. Aiden gasped. His hands shook. His mind raced. None of this made sense. Zara stood silently, eyes scanning the street. Then she turned to Aiden. "I didn't come to Earth to bring war," she said. "But if I don't stop them, your world will be next." Aiden stared at her. Who, are you really?" "I'm not just a girl," she said softly. "I'm the last daughter of the Thalran Empire, and I need your help." Rain tapped gently on the old metal roof of the abandoned shed where Aiden and Zara had taken shelter. Aiden sat on a broken chair, still shaking. His hands clutched the strange bracelet, now dim after opening the portal. Sarah sat across from him, wrapping a cloth around her injured leg. "Start talking," Aiden said quietly. "Who are you? And what do you mean my father knew you?" Sarah looked up, her glowing green eyes tired but clear. "Your father saved my life," she whispered. "He wasn't just some businessman. He was part of something bigger." Aiden laughed bitterly. "You're telling me my dad was some kind of alien agent?" "He was a protector," she said. "A peacekeeper between worlds. Long ago he worked with my people, the Thalrin. He stopped wars. He helped refugees. He even stopped a star from being destroyed by a weapon." Aiden blinked. "That sounds insane." Zara nodded. "To Earth, maybe. But to the rest of the galaxy, he was a legend. He saved my mother when I was still a baby. She died later in a war. And your father promised to protect me always." Aiden stared at the ground. "He never told me any of this." "Because he knew they would come for you too," Zara said. "If anyone found out who you were, you'd be hunted like me." She pulled out a small silver disc from her jacket. It glowed faintly. "What's that?" Aiden asked. "A memory token," Zara said. "Your father gave it to me. He said to use it only if I had no other choice." She touched it and a tiny hologram appeared. It was his father. Alive. Standing in some alien city. "Aiden," the hologram said, "if you're watching this, then Zara found you. That means I'm either lost or worse." Aiden's chest tightened. He leaned forward. "You must protect her. She carries something more dangerous than a weapon. Inside her is the last memory crystal of the Galactic Archive. It holds the truth about the extinction of her people and the names of those who caused it." Zara looked away, clearly trying not to cry. The hologram continued. "The ones who want that crystal will stop at nothing. Earth won't be safe for long. I'm gone, it's up to you, Aiden. You are more than just my son." The image faded. Silence. Aiden sat frozen. His heart pounded. All this time, his father was a galactic hero? And now, he was expected to take his place? "I'm no hero," he whispered. "You don't have to be," Zara said gently. "You just have to help me survive." Suddenly, a beeping sound echoed in the shed. Zara's eyes widened. "They found us." A blue scanner light passed through the cracks in the wall. A mechanical voice echoed, "Target located, prepare to seize." Aiden stood quickly. Out the back. They pushed through the old door, into the night. The rain fell harder. The sky flashed with red as small flying drones searched the area. Sarah grabbed his hand and pulled him into a narrow alley. "We need to reach the forest," she said. "There's an old transmitter there. Your father used to contact the Alliance." "You mean other aliens?" Aiden asked as he ducked under a metal pipe. "Yes," Zara replied. "Some of them still owe him favors." They ran through empty streets, their footsteps echoing in the rain. Suddenly, one of the drones spotted them. A loud screech followed. A red beam fired from above, narrowly missing Aiden's shoulder. Zara turned and threw a round object into the air. It exploded with a blinding flash. The drone crashed into a wall, sparking wildly. Aiden panted. "You're not just running, are you?" "No," she said. "I'm fighting. And now, you are too." Minutes later, they reached the edge of the forest. Zara knelt near an old tree and brushed away leaves, revealing a buried box. Inside was a dusty metal device with 2 antennas. She flicked a switch. The device hummed to life. "It's old," she said. "But it still works." She sent a signal into the sky, a pulse of light that vanished into the stars. Aiden looked at her. "What now?" "Now," Zara said, "we wait and hope someone still remembers your father." The signal was sent, but help didn't come. Aiden and Zara waited near the edge of the forest, hidden under tall trees and thick shadows. The strange old transmitter beeped once, then went silent. Zara frowned. No response. They didn't hear us? Aiden asked, his voice tight. She shook her head. Or they're too scared to answer. Thunder rolled in the sky. Suddenly, a red beam lit up the trees. Down! Zara shouted. A drone buzzed low overhead, scanning the area with blinking lights. Aiden's heart pounded as he pressed his back against a tree. Zara crouched beside him, holding a silver disc tightly in her hand. They're here already, she whispered. Too fast. They followed the signal, Aiden guessed. Zara nodded. Or they were already close. Before they could move, something loud crashed through the forest. Metal tearing bark, branches snapping, then came the sound of heavy steps. Thump, thump, thump. From behind the trees, a large machine walked into view. It stood twice as tall as a man. Its black armor glowed with red lines, and its head spun slowly, scanning. Aiden swallowed. What is that? A reclaimer, Zara whispered. They're not here to capture, they're here to erase everything. The machine paused. Its head turned toward them. Beep, 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 run! Zara shouted. They sprinted through the trees. Laser blasts hit the trunks beside them, burning holes through the bark. Leaves caught fire. The air smelled like smoke and lightning. Aiden followed her blindly, lungs burning, feet slipping on wet soil. Where are we going? He yelled. There's a hidden ravine, Zara said, panting. If we jump, they can't follow. They reached a cliff's edge. Down below, a fast-moving river flowed through rocky walls. Are you crazy? Aiden shouted. That's before he could finish. Zara grabbed his hand and jumped. They hit the water hard. Aiden was pulled under instantly, the current dragging him like a rag doll. He fought to breathe, arms flailing. Then, a hand grabbed his shirt and yanked him up. Zara. They surfaced together, coughing and gasping. The cold water stung, but they were alive. Behind them, the reclaimer stood at the cliff's edge, scanning. But it didn't jump. They can't swim, Zara said. Too heavy. The current carried them further down the river. After a while, they reached a quieter bend, and Aiden crawled onto the shore, shivering. They lay there in silence, catching their breath. You saved me, Aiden said, looking at her. She smiled faintly. You jumped with me. That's rare. He sat up. I'm just a normal guy. I go to school, I eat cereal, I play games, and now I'm running from alien robots because my dad used to save galaxies? You're not normal anymore, Zara said, and neither is your world. She looked up at the night sky. Her eyes softened. I used to look at stars and feel safe, she whispered. Now, they all feel cold. Aiden stood and offered his hand. Let's keep moving. She took it. Later, that night they found an old train station, long forgotten and falling apart. Inside it was dry. Safe, for now. Zara used a glowing needle from her belt to fix the wounds on her leg. Aiden watched amazed. Can that heal anything? He asked. Almost anything, she replied. It's from a world that doesn't exist anymore. He sat beside her. How many worlds have you lost? She didn't answer right away. Her voice came low. Too many. Then softly she added, Your father helped me once when I had no one. I was a scared child not much older than you. Now I have to be strong for his son. Aiden looked down. I don't know if I can do this. You already are, she said. You didn't run when I arrived. You didn't let go when we jumped. He smiled weakly. I was too shocked to run. They laughed. For a moment it felt normal. Then, a soft sound came from the hallway. A quiet click. Then another. Footsteps. Aiden stood up, heart racing. We're not alone. They pressed against the wall as the door creaked open. A tall figure stepped in. It was not a machine. It was a man, but his skin was pale blue, and his eyes glowed silver. He looked at Zara and fell to one knee. Princess, he said, you're alive. The blue-skinned man knelt on one knee. His silver eyes stared at the ground with deep respect. His voice trembled as he spoke again. Princess Zera, the stars whispered you were gone. But here you are. Aiden blinked. Wait. Princess? Zera let out a quiet breath and nodded. Yes, I am. Or I was. Before everything was destroyed. The man stood slowly. His armor was scratched and worn, and a long scar ran down his face. He looked like he had survived many battles. I am Varn, he said, a loyal knight of the Thalrin Royal Guard. I served your mother, and now I serve you. Zera's hands shook slightly. Varn, I thought you were dead. The capital was destroyed, Varn said. I escaped, barely. I have been hiding, waiting, watching Earth. I hoped you might come. Aiden stepped forward. So you're an alien soldier? Varn turned to him. And you must be the son of the human they called the Bridge. Aiden frowned. The Bridge? Zera explained. That's what they called your father across the stars. He was the one who brought peace between enemies. The one who helped high people when everyone else turned away. Aiden looked down. His father was sounding less like a mystery, and more like a legend. I promised your father, Varn continued, that if you ever called for help, I would answer. I received your signal. That is why I am here. Varn looked at Zera seriously. Are you still carrying the memory crystal? Zera nodded. Then we must act quickly, Varn said. You are being hunted, not just by drones but by the Devourers. They consume everything, entire planets. They want that crystal because it proves their crimes. Aiden felt a chill. Wait, he said. You mean if they catch her, they'll erase her, Varn said. And then, they'll come for Earth. Zera looked at Aiden. You don't have to stay, she said softly. You didn't ask for this. You don't owe me anything. Aiden stared at her for a moment, then he stepped forward. I'm not leaving you, he said. You showed up, in my room, almost dying and still trusted me. That means something. My dad, he protected you. And now, I will too. Zera's eyes softened. Even if it puts you in danger? I'm already in danger, Aiden said with a small smile. Might as well be useful. Varn nodded with respect. Spoken like your father. He opened a small case strapped to his back. Inside was a sleek silver device. He handed it to Aiden. This is a pulse guard, Varn said. It's a weapon but also a shield. It bonds with your energy. Use it wisely. Aiden took the device. As he touched it, it attached to his wrist and glowed softly. It felt warm. What does it do? He asked. You'll see when the time comes, Varn replied. Suddenly, a sharp noise pierced the air. The building shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. They found us, Varn said. We must move. Aiden peeked outside. Hovering over the train station were 4 black ships shaped like jagged blades. Drones poured from them like a swarm of insects. Back exit, Varn shouted. They rushed through the building, dodging falling beams and debris. Zera stumbled, but Aiden caught her. You okay? He asked. She nodded. I'm not giving up. They reached the exit, but a drone was already there, waiting. Varn ran forward and pulled a blade from his side. With one smooth strike, he sliced the drone in half. Let's go, he shouted. Outside, the world had turned red. Lights from the ships lit the streets. Drones flew in circles, scanning, searching. Varn led them into an underground tunnel hidden beneath a broken sign. Inside, it was dark, damp, and silent. They moved. Carefully, the sound of dripping water echoing around them. We'll head to the old satellite base, Varn said. It's deep in the forest. No signals reach there. No machines follow. Zera leaned on Aiden slightly. I'm sorry, she whispered. For what? He asked. For dragging you into this, he smiled. You didn't drag me. I walked in. She looked at him, eyes shining. You're not like most humans. You've met more than me? He asked, teasing. Enough to know you're different, she whispered, as they disappeared. Into the darkness of the tunnels, the ships above searched the ruins, unaware of the path below. But time was running out, and Aiden was no longer just a teenager. He was becoming something else. The tunnel air was cold and heavy. Water dripped from the ceiling. Each drop echoed like a ticking clock. Aiden walked behind Varn, keeping one hand on the wall, the other holding the glowing pulse guard on his wrist. Sarah moved beside him. Her steps were slower now. Her energy was fading. Varn's voice broke the silence. We are close. The old base is hidden beneath the hills. Your father built it with the help of Thalrin engineers. No machines know it exists. Aiden asked, why didn't he ever tell me about it? He wanted to protect you, Varn said. He knew the galaxy is full of enemies who wouldn't care if you were innocent, only that you were his blood. They reached a rusted door. Varn placed his hand on a metal panel. The wall scanned. His palm and clicked open. Inside, lights flickered on. The room looked like a command center. Alien tech mixed with Earth tools. Screens lit up. Maps of star systems appeared. One showed a glowing red mark moving toward Earth. What is that? Aiden asked. The enemy fleet, Varn said. Their leaders must have learned that Zara survived. Zara lowered herself into a chair, breathing heavily. Aiden moved to her side. You okay? I'm fine, she said weakly. The crystal, it's growing heavy. It wants to be seen. She pulled up her sleeve. A faint blue glow pulsed under her skin. Aiden asked, what happens if they get it? Varn's face turned grim. If they unlock it, they will erase the records of their crimes forever. Entire species will vanish from history, and they'll make sure no one can challenge their power again. Aiden clenched his fists. Then we don't let them get it. Suddenly, an alarm blared. The base lights turned red. No, Varn whispered. They found us? But the scanner said something strange. Life form detected. One unknown inside. Aiden's blood turned cold. Inside? But we sealed the door. The lights went out. Everything fell silent. Then, a slow clap echoed from the hallway behind them. A dark figure stepped into the room. It was tall, armored in black and crimson. Its face was hidden behind a sleek helmet. But its voice, smooth, chilling, cut through the air. Well done, little princess, it said. Running, hiding, trusting a human, just like your mother. Zara stood weakly. I know that voice. The figure removed its helmet. Underneath was an alien man, same skin as Zara, but his eyes were dark red. His face was cold and sharp, like carved stone. You, Sarah whispered. Uncle Ter. Aiden's mouth dropped. Your uncle? He betrayed us, Sarah said, her voice shaking. He helped the Devourers destroy our world. Ter smiled. And I'll do it again if I must. Peace makes people weak. The galaxy belongs to the strong. Varn pulled his blade. You won't touch her. Ter raised a hand. Varn flew across. The room slamming into a wall with a crash, Aiden ran toward him. But Ter stepped forward, blocking the way. You're the son of the bridge, Ter said. Interesting. He thought compassion could save the stars. Aiden stood tall. He was right. And I'm not letting you hurt her. Ter chuckled. You think you matter in this fight? You're just a child playing in the ashes of greater. Suddenly the pulse guard on Aiden's wrist lit up bright white. He didn't press anything. It reacted on its own. A shockwave burst from it, throwing Ter back. The base shook. Sarah cried out in pain. The glow on her arm grew brighter. She's triggering the crystal, Varn gasped. It's waking up. Ter got up slowly, eyes filled with rage. You'll regret that. He pressed a button on his chest. Boom! Explosives went off near the walls. Part of the base collapsed. Dust and metal flew everywhere. Ter disappeared in the smoke. Aiden pulled Zara behind cover. Are you all right? She nodded. He's after the crystal. He'll bring more. Varn limped over. We need to move. Now. But he knows everything, Aiden said. He's not just hunting us. He's family. Zara's eyes burned with tears. He killed my mother. He sold us out. He may be blood, but he's no family. Aiden looked at her. Really looked. She wasn't just some visitor from another world. She was a survivor. A warrior. And now, she was his friend. We'll stop him, Aiden said. No matter what it takes. Far above Earth, a fleet of enemy ships changed course, heading toward the planet with weapons hot. And in the shadows, Tear smiled. Smoke filled the underground base. Aiden coughed, waving dust from his face. Sparks flickered from broken panels. Cracks crawled up the walls like veins. The place was dying. Zara leaned against a beam, clutching her arm. The memory crystal beneath her skin was pulsing too fast. Varn struggled to stay standing, blood running down his brow. They had survived the explosion, but barely. Aiden looked around. We can't stay here. Varn nodded. We need shelter, somewhere safe enough for Zara to rest, and for us to figure out our next move. Suddenly, a soft hum came from the far wall. A screen that hadn't worked before blinked. On, its cracked glass glowed pale blue. Another alarm? Aiden asked. No, Zara whispered, staring at it. That's my mother's voice signature. Varn stepped closer. It's not a warning. It's a recording. A calm, deep voice echoed from the speaker. Aiden froze. It was his father's voice. If you are hearing this, then it means I've failed. I couldn't keep the darkness away forever. But you're stronger than I ever was. Aiden moved closer, breath caught in his throat. I kept so much from you, not because I didn't trust you, but because I wanted you to live free. I didn't want the weight of the stars on your shoulders, but now, the galaxy has come to your door, and I know you won't turn away. Tears gathered in Aiden's eyes. Dad, Zara is more than a guest. She is the last light of her people. That crystal she carries, it doesn't just hold history, it holds hope. Proof of betrayal. Proof of who destroyed the Thalran Empire. The screen changed. Images of Zara's world flashed. Giant cities, glowing towers, her people smiling. Then, fire, invasion, war. Your uncle, Tear, was once a noble man. But power twisted him. He made a deal with the Devourers. He gave them codes, secrets, in exchange for a throne. Zara clenched her fists. He murdered my mother in her sleep and then lied to the galaxy. The message continued. I hid a final key inside the crystal. A star code. One that can broadcast the truth across every known world. It will show the crimes. It will shake their empire. But the key only unlocks with two energies, Zara's and yours, Aiden. Aiden stepped back. Me? Why me? Because you're the bridge now, human and alien, Earth and stars, and the only way this truth survives is together. The screen went black. Silence. Aiden turned to Zara. She was crying quietly. He knew, she whispered. He knew. Everything. And still gave me hope. Varn placed a hand on her shoulder. His courage saved many. Now it's your turn. Later, they climbed out of the ruined base through a service tunnel. The sky was dark, full of red streaks. Enemy ships. Entering the atmosphere. Earth was no longer hidden. Where do we go now? Aiden asked. Varn pointed toward the distant mountains. There's an ancient relay tower hidden there, built before the war. If we reach it, we can broadcast the truth, but we'll be exposed. The entire way. Aiden nodded. We'll make it. Zara smiled weakly. You really are your father's son. As they moved through empty fields and silent woods, a strange peace settled between them. Not calm, but focus. They knew what had to be done. Suddenly, a soft blue glow lit the path ahead. A drone appeared, but it wasn't like the others. It didn't scan, it didn't attack, it simply floated, and opened a small projection. A symbol appeared in the air. The Alliance crest. They heard the signal. Zara whispered, "Someone is still out there." Then came a voice. "This is Commander Lari of the Free Worlds. We received a ghost signal, encoded with the bridge's pattern. If this is truly his son, speak. We are listening." Aiden stepped forward. He held up the pulse guard. It glowed again, brighter than before. "My name is Aiden," he said, loud and clear. "My father was the bridge. I carry his legacy. And with Zara, we carry the truth." He looked at the stars above. "I'm ready." In the distance, beyond, the mountains. Ter watched from the deck of his flagship. He stared at the signal in silence. "Let them speak," he muttered. "Their words will mean nothing if their bodies burn." He turned away, his eyes cold and full of fire. The mountain wind howled around them. Aiden, Zara, and Varn stood on the rocky slope, staring up at the ancient relay tower, a giant spire of alien steel rising into the dark sky. Its surface was cracked, its power faded, but it still stood. They had reached the final place. Behind them, Earth's skies were no longer silent. Enemy ships circled above like vultures. Red streaks flashed across the clouds. Ground trembled. The invasion had begun. But Aiden didn't flinch. He tightened the pulse guard around his wrist and helped Zara forward. Her energy was fading fast, the memory crystal glowing bright beneath her skin. "This tower," she whispered, "was built to speak to the galaxy. If we link the crystal with the core, the truth will be seen by every world." Varn nodded. "It will expose Ter's betrayal. Billions will rise, but we must reach the top." Aiden looked at the sky. "Then let's climb." Inside the tower it was dark and cold. Steps spiraled up into shadows. Every footstep echoed. Halfway up, a blast shook the structure. Outside, one of the enemy ships fired a warning shot. "They know where we are," Varn growled. "We keep moving," Aiden said. They reached the summit. A platform open to the wind, surrounded by broken tech. In the center stood the relay core, shaped like a glowing heart. Zara stepped forward and placed her hand on it. The crystal in her arm shimmered, connecting. A soft light pulsed through the tower. Then, a voice boomed across the air. "Well done, niece." A ship hovered just above the platform. A ramp opened. Ter stepped out, flanked by dark-armored guards. "You came far," he said, smiling. "But it ends here." Aiden stepped between Zara and Ter. "You're not stopping this." Ter laughed coldly. "You think you can protect her, human boy? You have no army, no weapons." "I have the truth," Aiden said. "And that's enough." Ter raised a hand. "Guards, take the girl." But as the guards stepped forward, Varn charged. Blade flashing, he struck down one, then two. But they were too many. One stabbed him in the side. Varn cried out but stood tall. "I promised your father I'd protect her, and I don't break my promises." Aiden turned to Zara. "We have to finish the broadcast. Now." She nodded weakly. "I need your hand." Aiden grabbed her hand and placed his other on the relay. The core flared, the crystal activated, and then the stars opened. Across the galaxy, screens blinked to life. In stations, palaces, slums, and starships, beings of all kinds saw the same thing. Images of the Thalran world burning. Ter shaking hands with the Devourers. Her people betrayed. Her mother killed. Gasps echoed. Shouts followed. A storm began. Ter's face twisted with fury. "No, shut it down!" He lunged at them, but Aiden turned. The pulse guard on his wrist exploded with white light. A shield formed, blocking Ter's strike. "You're finished," Aiden said. Ter backed away. His guards hesitated. "Stand down," Aiden said to them. "You saw the truth." One by one, they lowered their weapons. Ter looked around, realizing he had lost. Later, the skies cleared. Ter's fleet pulled back, abandoned by allies who now called him a traitor. Varn lay on the ground, injured, but smiling. "You did it," he whispered to Zara. "Your people will rise again." Aiden helped her stand. The crystal in her arm dimmed. It had completed its purpose. "You're safe now," he said. Zara looked at him, eyes full of emotion. "No," she said. "We're safe. Because of you." She stepped closer. "You were never just a boy in a room," she whispered. "You were always more." Aiden smiled. "I'm still figuring that out." She touched his hand gently. "Then let's figure it out together." Weeks later, peace began to grow. Across the stars, the Thalran name returned. Worlds welcomed the truth. Zara became more than a survivor. She became a symbol. And Aiden, he didn't go back to being just human. He became something new. The Bridge, reborn.